Yeah. Yeah. Hear my song. Trap jazz. Yeah. Keys to the city. You know. Phillips mode. Yeah. Hey, look. Hey, this what happens when you make room for God's gift. Amongst your people, you create a continental drift. For my culture, it's the conversation. Trap jazz is the safe, and these keys is the combination. City full of rap trash, I ain't having that. Substance over everything, clean up, I'm at bat. They don't wanna see you shine, cuz. Tell them haters start from scratch, get in line, cuz. We ain't got time for it. We really doing this shit.
Where would I be if you let me down? Where would I be if you let me down?
I have the pleasure to present to this great audience young John Lewis, National Chairman, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Brother John Lewis.
We march today for jobs and freedom, but we have nothing to be proud of, for hundreds and thousands of our brothers are not here. While we stand here, there are students in jail on trump-up charges. One man, one vote is the African cry. It is ours too. It must be ours. We must have legislation that will protect the Mississippi sharecropper who was put off of his farm because he dared to register to vote. We need a bill that will provide for the homeless and starving people of this nation.
People all over the world.
We need a bill that will ensure the equality of a maid who earns $5 a week in the home of a family.
We should have automatic registration and stop making it so hard and so difficult for people to participate in the democratic process. President Carter said on one occasion that being able to vote, to cast a vote, should be as simple as getting a glass of water. Make it easy, make it simple, make it convenient.
And I obviously did some research before our podcast today, Representative Lewis, and you're a man of very powerful quotes. We can talk about your quotes all day, but one that stood out to me, it said that every generation leaves behind a legacy. What that legacy will be is determined by the people of that generation. So when you think about today's generation, Representative Lewis, what legacy do you see being created or being left behind?
Well, I believe that young people, the children in middle school and high school and university level going to lead. They're so smart. When I was growing up, I never heard of the internet. You hadn't heard of it. I hadn't heard of it. And you talk about social media. What is that? These young people, they get it. and they can use it. They can use it for good to help change our country.
Absolutely, and my apology for not knowing this, but it's my understanding now that back in 1988, you sponsored the first bill for the National Museum of African American History and Culture. And to see that come to fruition a couple years ago, can you talk about that process and what that meant to you and what that means to us as a people for our culture?
Well, several other people had the idea even before I was born. That was African-American soldiers had the idea that there should be a museum to reflect and tell the story of African-American in America since the days of slavery. And people tried, and I introduced the legislation. It took me more than 20 years to get it through the House. We would pass it through the House, but then it would be opposed by a member of the Senate. There was a senator from the state of North Carolina that each time it would come up, he would put a hold on it. In one Congress, we can get it through the House, but we couldn't get it through the Senate, and that kept happening over and over again. And we created a bipartisan effort. We came together, we got it passed in the House and in the Senate, and it was President George W. Bush who signed it into law. And at the dedication of the museum, President Obama and his wife, President George W. Bush, and his wife came for the opening. And it was an unbelievable day. I think we all shared some tears. And now it's probably one of the most visited places in Washington.
Well, thank you, and I think Clark said it best, civil rights icon, American hero, a hero to me. Personal hero. You said it best, Clark. I watched the movie Selma more times than I can count, and I always watch it around election time to not only remind myself, but remind my families and friends of how people literally fought, bled, and died for me to have the opportunity to go vote. And I appreciate you doing that for me and everyone in this great country. So thank you for that, and thank you for joining us today on Rock the Culture.
But thank you. The only thing I tried to do to help out, and that's what I will continue to do, to help out and lend a helping hand.
Well, I think you did more than just help out, Representative Lewis.
Yes, that's right.
We really appreciate everything you have done, and on behalf of Arkansas, we appreciate you being here. We're big supporters of the Clark Tucker campaign, and we're grateful that you're in our presence today. Thank you, Representative John Lewis.
But thank you so much.
Well, welcome back to Rock the Culture, Season 2, Episode 5, history-making episode.
We relevant,
Man, I just got chills in my body, like no lie. This is the podcast where we bring in perspective and conversation on all things Little Rock, all things Central Arkansas, all things the culture. So shout out to Philander Smith College for giving us the space and the ability to come here to record today's special pod. Shout out to Q Note for his ability as a producer to take our show on the road, continue to give you good quality sound. And shout out to his guy, now our guy, J. Cole Lansing, who's here bringing in the photography, the video element to this week's pod, because it was historical. So we just didn't want to bring y'all the audio. We brought y'all the video today, and you even got to see the new merch.
Got to see my handsome face today.
Y'all, that's unfortunate, but y'all did. Y'all did get to see his face today.
City with the cook up, now it's keys to the city. Every time you look up, and this is one thing they can't understand. Get money with the fam. Big baller brand, Q and Philly move, yeah, been with all the bands, and it's always been the plan for us to touch.
My Sue Sam's episode.
You work
Six keys to the cities, to the cities.